Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend. Come inside, come inside. I'm Joey Thurman. I'm damn glad to be here. And along with me, of course, is the man of the hour, Sean. And this is the Sean Matthews podcast. Shawnee, how you been, man?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Yeah, we ended the show in May and we said we were going to come back, I think we said like a month, right? I'm
Well, yeah,
sorry, like,
yeah,
we threw it out there, but then like we started enjoying the summer.
stuff
Joe
happens,
got a new
dude.
job. You got a new job, man.
Yeah.
I had some things in my life change, some things happen, different things at work, things going on. So then, I had a lot of concerts to go to. So then, it was just one of those things where like, all right, we'll continue, we'll possibly come back at some point. But then it got a little crazy there for a second. We thought about just ending the show, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
But then we're like, we miss it. And we got a lot to talk about. So we're back.
Well, not only that, Sean, we also reevaluated what we're doing, why we're doing it. We're really doing this because we really like to do it. All right. So if we fuck around and get lucky and strike it rich and do all that kind of thing, that's fantastic. But yeah, let's face it, podcasts are ubiquitous. Everyone, I wouldn't say everyone has one, but there are a lot of them out there. And we're not probably not going to get bloody rich. But if something happens and we get something else out of it, like a little something out of it, that's cool. But we're really doing this because we like to use our creativity. We like communication and we like sharing it with people. And that's really no bullshit there. That's the honest to God truth. So and you and I, not only that, but you and I checked a lot of boxes as buddies that, oh, we got to get around to doing this. We got to get around to doing that. And we got to get around to doing that. And we're going to get into that in the show here. We checked a lot of boxes and we had fun and we had so much fun. We're planning some more. We created some more boxes that we're going to check. So I think it's all good, but it's in a way, it seems like a long time, but just as we're getting ready for the show here in a couple minutes that you and I are spending together talking like, okay, you got this, you got this, it felt like it's been a month. So that's just the way I felt about it. But I mean, we went to Bruce Springsteen. I'm not a concert goer, bro, but
Yeah. So Joe, I think Joe, your only concert before this was Clapton.
yeah, and you know me, I'm a music nut. I'm a music nut, but I just never went to concerts. But I went to a concert back in 1990. I had a buddy of mine, God rest his soul, he had Down syndrome, and he wanted me to take him to Eric Clapton in the Spectrum in Philly. And I didn't want to go, but I went for him. And that was the only live concert I ever really, well, I mean, there are always live music at the boardwalk and this and that, but it's the only concert really that I went to. And I never really thought I would dig it. And the truth of the matter is, I wouldn't dig it if I were sitting in a second bowl or the third row but the way to do it. And I said this to a different friend of mine just the other day, Sean. I said, I use an airplane analogy. I'm going to go first class or I'm going to stay home. So I'm going to go to concerts with you. I'm not going to go very often, but when I do go, it's going to be all up in there. You know what I mean? So it's going to be down low and real close to
So
the action.
we saw Bruce in MetLife Stadium. I think it was Friday, September 1st. The weather was perfect. We had literally the best seats in the house. I mean, we got pit tickets, which is right in front of the stage. So there are people behind us who had floor seats, and they could be like, okay, we had first row on the floor, but all the people in the pit were in front of them, right? So we were right there. We got there early. I drove. We picked up Wawa subs.
I
Uh,
almost got us lost.
Yeah,
I
no,
didn't know.
just as for some reason the GPS was bringing me near the Newark airport, and just as I was like I had to make a really important turn. Like there was like three different exits coming up, and it was like a crowded turnpike on the way to the Meadowlands, basically. And then like Joe went to like turn down the volume, and at the simultaneously it like cut off the GPS, and I missed the key turn, so I added about 20 minutes to our trip, but it was all good. We left early enough anyway. We were probably there by like what, Joe, like 5:30.
Yeah, yeah, I would say so.
So we brought the beach chairs, so we got a parking spot right in front of the stadium. It was sick. The weather was nice. Joe, what'd you get? You got the turkey. What'd you get? A turkey and provolone and like a cookie and a soft
Yeah, I got the
pretzel.
the turkey and provolone sub without all the bullshit on it, without all the lettuce, tomato, and all that. I just I don't know. I like the meat and cheese and the salt, pepper, oregano. I got to watch heartburn with the tomatoes, and it says I just do a meat and cheese sub, and I had a chocolate chip cookie from Wawa because I just dig them, and and I forget what I was drinking, just iced tea, right? Because I didn't need to drink anything else. I don't dry drink but once or twice a year. We're going to talk about that in a little while too. But, we're going to make that about 3 times a year, but that's about it. I did, however, and it was good because my back was hurting that day too. I did partake, and I took 3 edibles before, about 20 minutes, about 10 minutes before we went into the concert, and then about a half an hour, maybe 15 minutes after Bruce started. So 4 edibles for the whole concert wasn't a big deal. I mean, I'm a pretty big boy. I was cruising nicely. My back felt nice. I was feeling not very much pain at all, feeling nice and just feeling that vibe. And I'm just like sitting there, just rocking back and
So
forth.
what
And when
was
he,
like? Let's not let's
yeah, I'm sorry. Go
explain
ahead.
this a little bit. So when you first walked into that, we got our special passes, our wristbands.
Hmm.
Um, when you first walked in and realized, okay, this is where we are, and you looked around the stadium, like what was going through your mind? Because you've never been that stadium, right?
Never been down on the floor in any stadium, right? I've been in pretty good seats. Like when you and I went to Yankee Stadium. That's not being down on the floor. I always wondered what it would be like to be an entertainer or an athlete or whatever and be down on that floor and look up. And it was awesome in the very beginning. One of my favorite clips that you took, though, is during the show when you look back and it's and then there everyone's the whole place. It
I
sounds like
know.
oh,
It's
and
something
just looking back, it was just
people, you know,
crazy.
people talk about going to church and like religious experiences. Dude, when you go to a Springsteen concert in New Jersey,
Yeah.
full of the stadium, and like some of these people have seen him over 100 times, and everyone's singing in unison. And we're like, there's people like a mile away from us up in like the nosebleeds, and that's still a good time up there. But we're right near the stage, and we're like looking Bruce in the face while he's singing and going, doing his thing on stage, and just looking at little Stevie and the band and Nils and Max Weinberg and the drums, and just all Clarence's nephew and the saxophone. And when you're there, it's something that you can't really describe in words, to be honest.
I mean, it was surreal. It was absolutely surreal. And we're standing around, and we're looking at an empty stage, and we're just looking at the place start to slowly fill up. And that was pretty awesome in and of itself. But when that concert started, and it's just everybody was just moving to one vibe, and just to turn around and look. I mean, we're standing about 70, maybe I don't know, about 65 feet from the stage, right? 65 feet is not very much. Okay, we're looking back at people who are a couple hundred, maybe 150 yards away up in the third row, and they're going crazy. So it was like, wow. This is just unbelievable. It really was. And not only that, Sean, I had been telling you all week long. I said, dude, I love Bruce anyway. It's a day out. It's going to be tremendous because of where we are anyway, where we were situated. I knew it was going to be this was going to be different. But and I said to you all week long, I said, man, he probably is not going to play Jungle Land because he just doesn't play it. That would be great if he did. But even if he didn't, man, if I could hear Spirits in the Night, dude, man, that would be like and I said this to you a week beforehand. And I said it to you about 4 times between the week before and the concert. And what do you know? He comes out, and I think it's the third or fourth song. He was fucked around and played Spirits in the Night. And it's like down,
I,
down, down,
yeah.
down,
I
down,
was,
down. It's just
I was,
crazy. It's
because
crazy.
I knew how bad you wanted to hear that song. And
Yeah,
I was genuinely happy for you. I was just like, because I was like, this is cool because I don't even know if I've seen this song live, at least not on this tour. Um, and I'm just like, okay, I'm getting a video of this. Joe's gonna want a video because I wanted you to enjoy the concert, and my phone was running low on battery, so I took your phone. And I was recording with your phone.
that's
And
right. I
I
remember.
tried to get my whole thing is I liked, I want to enjoy the song too. So I got like the first 2 minutes, but then I stopped recording and just kind of sat because there's a difference between recording and, while you're recording, you can still look at the stage and just hold your phone up and not look through the phone. But it's
Mhm.
tempting not to look through your phone. So you're like, wait, this guy's playing this incredible song. Why am I looking through my phone? But I wanted to record it for you. But then like I got the last two, so I probably got like 4 minutes. I don't know. I stopped and I started again, but at least we got some of it on video, right? And I think did I get you in the video singing in it at all?
I'm not sure, Sean, because you know what? something did go awry there with I was under the impression that you filmed everything and you were this avid camera guy and this and that.
No,
Look,
I don't. Because my whole thing is I do about half. I do about if it's a really good song, I try to do about half the song. This is something so special. I do the whole song.
mhm.
And then after that, I put the phone in my pocket and I just lock into the song and just like say, I can't believe I'm here right now. I'm at this concert. I'm seeing one of my favorite artists, and there's no phone, just me watching. So there's a big element of me wanting to see without recording. But one thing I do, I always go back and just spend a lot of time going back on my phone watching footage from the concerts I've been at. So I know how valuable it is when after the show, but when I'm there, I still want to be present. So you know what I mean? That's why
Yeah.
the whole thing. But then I went back 2 days later on Sunday night. I was setting up kind of not the nosebleeds, but dead center, but close to the nosebleeds. Barely see him. You had to really look at the screen. But he played Jungle Land that night, which was awesome. But I
Yeah, I know.
record the whole. That night. I recorded the whole Spirits for you. But the problem was in that section where I was that night, there was a blinding light just pointed at our section. I really couldn't see a thing.
Well, compared to where we were,
No,
bro, you
yeah,
were in Hoboken, cuz I mean, it's not, I mean, and I appreciated the effort and all that kind of stuff, but, and I don't even, I'm not even worried about, not, it doesn't even bother me that the footage of Spirits in the Night is a little bit off. It doesn't bother me at all because you got to understand how rare it is that he does that live. I mean, in if
he hasn't. That was the first time all tour, I believe.
yeah, it's just so rare. And I was thinking, and the funny thing is, I know God has a lot of other shit to do, right? I mean, but I say prayers every night, and I say my prayers about serious stuff and serious stuff. It was the night before the concert, and I just said, "Hey God, I know you got other stuff to do, but if I could hear Jungle Land or Spirits in the Night tomorrow, that would be awesome." But even God, I'm just and even we could joke with God too. So I just joke with, "Hey, all right." That was like I said, it was at the end of my prayers, and it's internal dialogue. I'm not sitting here talking to anybody, right? But and don't you know, I come in here, and all of a sudden, it's Spirits, and then he's up there and like a preacher. He's like, "Can you feel the spirit?" And I'm like,
Yeah,
man. I was like, yo, cool. And then all of a sudden he starts boom, no, 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 boom, no. Anybody who doesn't know the song, check it out. It's
it
dope
is.
as hell, as the
I
kids
think
say.
it's off the Greetings from Asbury Park album. I think.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
that 19, like his first before Born. I think Born the Run was 1975, like the all
Oh,
time.
it's pre-born to run. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in that's I think is I don't know if Sandy's on that album too, but that album Spirit and the Night is definitely on Greetings from Asbury Park. But yeah, the crazy part about it, Joe, is I saw his last show before he announced that he got sick. He's got peptic ulcers. So he's dealing with
Yes.
ulcers. He had to cancel like nine shows in September, the rest of the month. Then it was announced today that he canceled the rest of the shows for the whole year. He's not going to be
I
back.
saw that.
So me and you saw one of his last shows, man. And he played Spirit when I went again on that Sunday. He played Spirits in the Night again. So, but also a big thing that the night that I went with you, dude, when he played Darkness on the Edge of Town, that for me was huge because he hasn't played that. I don't think he's played that in America all tour. I think one other time in Detroit, and then maybe in Europe. So the combination of Darkness and the Edge of Town and Spirits in one night, dude, that was sick.
Oh, and well, yeah, of course we got Rosalita. You got footage of that. Of course, it's Born to Run. Of course, but I forgot in the interim there. I forgot how much I love Backstreets. Huh?
I know
Oh,
seeing that
Backstreet.
live.
Oh,
There's the part of Backstreets where like hiding in the back streets, hiding in the
in the Backstreet.
starts
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
the whole
yeah.
thing starts picking up and it's the song starts. It's like really that's a great moment.
Oh, tremendous.
So we got to
Yeah.
talk about when we first walked in, right? We got a good spot and everything, but let's talk about the guy who we met. We met a guy from the Boston area who was absolutely hammered.
Well, you met a guy from the Boston area, and I was about 8 feet
Well,
away.
we were together and the guy
Yeah,
started
yeah.
what he started talking to us about. He was like complaining
Oh, I
about
know. I do remember because we're standing there and he's messing with his phone and he goes, "Do you guys use Verizon?"
oh yeah, that was
Something
right.
like that. And then he starts bitching and moaning about Verizon, and then it was off to the races. I tried to take a couple steps away from this joker because I could see he was. I mean, listen, I'm no prude. I just told you I took some edibles. I was buzzing. I was feeling good for the concert, as was 99% of the people there. But this dude was hammered drunk and he was loud. And listen, there are people around looking at me sideways because of this joker and what he's saying. and it was
I think you're overthinking it though. Like, yes, he
for this.
was.
Maybe I am, Sean, but it sure as shit felt like, I mean, he would say something really ridiculous and crude or loud. And like I said, if we ran into him at a bar, I'd be like, fine, man, it's pro pride, laugh it off. But it's like I got people looking at me sideways because this joker, let's face it, he was kind of inappropriate, and when you're inappropriate for like getting ready
He
for a
was,
rock concert, you're really off the
he
rails.
was
But
talking about like his friend doing coke in the bathroom and stuff.
it was just I mean, listen, I don't. This could. I don't want to get too much into this too because I don't want to be painted as a prude. I'm anything but. Okay, like I said, if I meet this guy, run into a dude like this, if we're out at a bar and we run into a dude like this, it's fine. You laugh it off, you drink with him, you laugh, and you do whatever. But this was a different situation, and really, another thing that I have to add here, and I said this before, this is my first concert in like 30 years, right? So it's my first go around with a concert in the concert crowd. So I wasn't sure. That's another reason why I thought people were kind of looking at me every time he would say so. And like, oh, like why don't I? Because I think they thought, geez, why don't you control your friend? Why don't you say something to your friend? And I felt like holding a sign up going, he's not I don't know him, that kind of a thing.
Yeah, I
But it's
saw
because
you.
I don't go to concerts that often. So I don't know.
It was funny as hell. Like you started like rolling your eyes while he was talking to you. You're like rolling your eyes and like not really paying attention. You're kind of ignoring him to his face. So I started cracking up. I was like, damn, man.
Well,
Like,
yeah, because I just kind of, I just kind of felt that way. Like I was rolling my eyes, I was ignoring him, like to his
and then you
after a
walked
while.
away. You walked a couple feet away. That was the funny thing too.
I was really starting to get aggravated because I mean, it was just one of those things and I'm thinking to myself, why are you perpetuating this whole thing? But keep
Well, I'm just
talking to
there
this
to have a good.
joker.
I'm there to have a
Why
good
don't you
time, right?
just stop talking to him? We're going to drift away and we'll go get a spot and maybe 25 feet away somewhere.
Yeah.
But no, you were like, you were interviewing the fucking guy. I don't know what was going on. I don't know. I just couldn't, I just,
Well, the
I just felt,
storyteller in me, and like if the podcast host in me thinks, okay, I'm here on a show. This is fun. Joe's got his edibles. It might not be as talkative. I'm not sure. We got like an hour to the show. This guy is somewhat entertaining, and I know this is going to turn into a ridiculous story because at one point you said you smelled piss. You thought he pissed his pants.
well, and here's the deal. I told you later on that night, I said something. I said, I smelled piss from somewhere. Now, what I thought was at the time during a concert, I smelled it, but I figured, okay, someone's wearing a diaper. And I thought some person, some person has maybe got a medical condition where they either had to like wear a diaper or stay home. So God, for God's sake, wear the diaper. It's an open air con. I'll smell the urine doesn't really bother me and everything, but I smelled a strong smell of piss, and I thought it was coming from this joker. And one of the reasons why I thought it was is because at one point when he was talking to us, he said, "All right, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be back." Right, and he got distracted, and he never left. He stood right there, and he was standing right there, and he starts talking about something else. so, so I think he got so twisted that maybe I'm really because that's why I thought it was him. Now it could have been anyone. It could have been, and if it was someone, like I said, if it was someone with a medical condition that that had to either make a decision of staying home and not going, or being there and wearing a diaper, wear the diaper. Do what you got to be. And even if there's some folks that without even a medical condition, if they're going to be in a large crowd like that, I mean, you're going to lose your spot, and you're going to.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
I
let's
don't know how
talk
hard
about
it
that,
is
man.
to walk. Yeah,
I went to that festival in Asbury Park a couple weekends ago. It's called See Here Now,
right.
and it was two of my favorite bands headlining: Killers Night One, Foo Fighters Night Two. And I was really excited for it. And like I paid good money for it. It wasn't crazy expensive. It was basically about 280 for both days combined. So like 140 per day, but for these amazing bands. And I was right in the beach, but I didn't know what to do at the bathroom situation. And I was because my bladder, I have to pee a lot sometimes.
Well,
Like
then you have a
I
condition.
don't, I don't have a
Yeah,
condition. I could get through stuff, but I knew I was going to be on that beach watching. I was going to be on that beach from at least 4 o'clock to at least 11 o'clock at night. So 7 hours, right?
right.
And I knew it was going to be really crowded. I was doing a lot of research because I hadn't been there before. I was like, oh, it's going to be super crowded. There's going to be nowhere to squirm out. Once you go to the bathroom, you can't get your spot back, especially if I'm by myself. They're like, well, who are you with? Where are you going? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I just wanted to so I looked into it. So I went to Walmart and I had to ask the guy for help. I was like, hey, what aisle is this? And I looked for adult men's diapers because I've heard other people at festivals do that. Sometimes you just got to, for backup, right?
That's fine. Yeah,
I never planned on like taking a poop a number two in the diaper, but I was like, all right, let me mess around, see how this feels. It looks like whitey tighties, and then it kind of has it's a little uncomfortable when you first put it on because it's like this thick thing going through the middle, I guess, to absorb whatever liquids come out,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I know this is a little disgusting, but anyway, so
Hey,
I
I told
bought,
you I changed my father for 2 years, so go ahead. Don't worry about
yeah.
it.
But no, so I went to the festival. I took a train from Long Branch to Asbury Park. Then I walked to the festival. Wore jeans that day. I wore the diaper, but then I put boxers over it. I got my water. You can get your water bottle filled at the hydration station, so I got that filled. And it made me feel better because I'm like, oh, at least like I'm not going to get dehydrated. I could drink water without worrying about going to the bathroom. So basically I did it the first day, and it was awesome in the sense that I had no worries, and I saw people just like standing there and they didn't know what to do, and they're losing their spot, and there was literally no space to move. There was been 40,000 people on that beach, and getting to the bathroom was like a journey because you're pushing through people, you're stepping on people's feet. It's very uncomfortable. People are looking at you weird, and like it's so uncomfortable. They have to do that just to get to the bathroom. They have to do that just to get back. But the thing is, once you get back, you won't have a good spot. You'll be a mile away from the stage. So
Yeah, you lost
I
your
had
primo
at
spot,
first I
right?
thought it would be weird. I'm like, yeah, some people might think this is weird, but I did it for both days. I do it again. I didn't use it that much. You know what I mean? I just peed a little bit here and there when I had,
Hmm.
and I was able to see all the artists. I saw Sheryl Crow, I saw Greta Van Fleet, the Killers, I saw the Beach Boys with John Stamos play with them. I saw Weezer, then I saw Foo Fighters. I saw another band called Royal Blood. Like overall, I had a great time. And the bathroom thing to me could have turned very stressful because sometimes I have to go like every hour and a half to 2 hours.
Yeah, you
And
got a condition, cuz. I mean, it's just
there's no
you
way.
took. Yeah, you do. Go ahead.
Well, not a condition. It's just a bladder
For a
that
guy your age, for a guy your age, if you've got to piss that often, you've got something going. Okay, us just say, yeah. I mean, and if you're my age, then it's like, oh, okay, but I don't.
I think it's
You'll
just
have
it's an overactive bladder because I went to the
yeah.
doctor for it. I
You
went to
go
like
more than I do, more often than I do. So
Yeah. I went to the doctor and I did all these little tests and everything, like emptying the bladder, and they're like, we really don't know what the hell. This is just like an overactive bladder, I guess. They tried to see if I was emptying it every time I
well,
went.
okay, that's the condition, overactive bladder. It's just a
Yeah,
condition.
yeah, nothing
So,
crazy, but
yeah,
the thing
let
is, I
me
could
go ahead.
survive. But I can survive. I can make it unless I'm drinking like coffee and just nonstop liquids. Then it's one of those things. I've been on trains to Philadelphia when I went to Villanova.
Hmm.
I've been on a train to Philadelphia, and like I thought my bladder was going to explode. I had to go so bad. We were pounding beers before that train ride. You know how beer does. Beer
Oh
gets
yeah,
to you.
oh yeah, oh
And
yeah.
then like, finally, I was able to find a bathroom, get out of the train and find a bathroom, but it was bad. Like that was one of the most pain I've been in my life, dude.
Oh, that's one of the most uncomfortable, yeah, feelings in the world. It's like when you really, really got it. So I listen. Let me just cut to the chase. I venture to say that you were probably not alone in that, in your mindset and in wearing something like that.
Because yeah, because I
I'm
saw a
certain of
lot
it.
of people around me they never moved like I didn't move. And
Exactly.
I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, are they just holding it in? Or are they, because one person recommended bringing like a sweatshirt, wrapping it around your waist, and then bringing like a bottle and peeing into the bottle. But I'm like, we're on a beach. I don't want to pee into a bottle around all these people. It's really disgusting. Like, let me just, this is going to be fine. Plus, it didn't smell like the thing was like odor blockers and everything like that. Like it really just had like no odor to it, and it wasn't. It all got absorbed, and it was all fine. You know what I mean? And I got to enjoy the music without overthinking it.
Yes, and I've heard stories of many people doing exactly what you did, and I've even heard stories of people going on long car rides and not being anywhere near any rest areas and not being comfortable with just, especially women. I mean, you're peeing in the edge of a woods somewhere or something. So I've heard stories of people wearing diapers on long car rides where they knew they weren't going to be any stuff. So listen, these things, that they're worn by people who need them, like in
I gotta
elderly.
get, I gotta get, I have to get Howard Stern's opinion on this because he would have an interesting take on this because
Yeah, that's
he
great. I'm
has a,
glad he would. But
but
what
it's got,
anyway?
hold on.
What the fuck is this Howard Stern shit all the time? Go ahead.
I know you don't listen to him, but I still do, man.
I
Uh,
don't. Okay, all right.
no, because he says he can't even go on long walks with his wife without having to pee. Like he has to you know what I mean? So he's got a bladder issue. So I'm wondering like what his opinion on like just going to a festival, like, was that the cool thing to do? Like that's all I'm saying, Joe. I'm
Oh,
not
okay,
still
okay.
still doing the show here, but
I know. Hey, it's part. This is the show, dude. You know, that's what it is, bro. That's what it is, as that kid said in Breakfast Club.
yeah,
Chicks cannot hold they smoke. That's what it is. Now go ahead.
So basically, the Bruce concert for you was like a big thing. You had a great time.
Oh,
What was
unbelievable.
what was like your top three songs from the night? Would you say like Spirits
Uh,
in the Night,
well,
Back?
did you ask me? Now you're going to name it for me. Let me answer the question there, tough guy. Let me answer it. No, I'm just kidding with you, but I mean, you asked me the question, and then you started to. Okay, favorite I said is Spirits in the Night, right? Spirits in the Night. Rosalita. Here's where it gets. Here's where it gets a little weird because no, it's only because everyone. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking Born to Run, and I do love Born to Run. Who doesn't love Born to Run?
Oh, hold on.
But
Let me interrupt you real quick. He opened with Lonesome Day, then he played Night, then he played No Surrender, then he played Ghost, then he played Prove It All Night, then he played Darkest Edge of Town, then he played Letter to You, then he played The Promised Land, then he played Spirit in the Night, then he played Kitty's Back, then he played Night Shift, then he played the E Street Shuffle, then he played Mary's Place, then he played Last Man Standing, then he played Backstreets, then he played Because the Night, then he played She's the One, Wrecking Ball, The Rising, Badlands,
all right,
Thunder Road.
stop. She's the one. And then after She's the One, give me five, will you? Give me a top five. After She's the One, I want Backstreets.
Well, the encore was Born the Run, Rosalita, Seven Nights to Rock, Glory Days, Dancing in the Dark, 10th Avenue Freeze Out.
Oh, Rosalita. Oh yeah. Because your papa says he knows that I don't have it. Go ahead. But so you have my five. What was your five, man?
Well, I'll just give you the combination of both nights.
Yeah, go ahead.
Um,
I'll allow it.
Darkness and Edge of Town,
Right.
no doubt about it. Spirit of the Night, Jungle Land. Jungle Land will probably be number one. Spirit's right up there though, man. I really enjoyed Spirit, man.
Yeah.
Um, Let me think, because I've seen him five times this tour, so the encore to me is getting a little stale.
Right.
So I wouldn't even go with Born the Run because I've seen Thunder Road like basically every show. He didn't play Candy's Room both the nights I saw him recently, but
That's a great song.
I saw that three times this tour, so I'm good on that. Um, yeah, man, definitely She's the One's up there. Backstreets is up there for me.
Yes.
Actually, what I really enjoyed when he played Something in the Night, that song I sent you. I was like, yo, what do you think about this song? It's called
It,
Something in the Night, where he's
yeah.
doing the Bruce thing where he's like growling. He's like, he does that thing.
Yeah, I like when he does this, I love all that, and it was some of that in there, but the song itself, it was a five. It was right down the middle. It wasn't terrible, it wasn't a 10. It was right down the middle.
Yeah, but
It
I was
was
just, and then he also played Two Hearts. I love the song Two Hearts. I know you don't really not familiar with it. It's off the River, the album, but
hmm
anyway, this is turning into the Bruce Springsteen show right now, man.
yeah. We got other stuff we got to talk about.
Let's talk a little bit about the bar night.
Yes, sir. We could talk about the bar night. I could also preface it. Look, we didn't do too poorly, but it was a while for me before I had any liquor. Since I had any liquor at all, I mean, it was about a year ago. Believe it or not, people can't believe that. You never a beer? Not really. I mean, I told you that. I told you that I do the edibles to relax. I have a muscle relaxers that the doctor gave me for my back spasms. And other than that, I really don't do any. But anyway, we had a bar night, and like I said, it's about once a year for me. But we both got. Let me just cut to the chase. We got pretty tanked. The both of us got pretty goddamn tanked, to be honest with you. I'm not bullshitting around, but I was drinking Captain and Coke, and that's normally my jam. And back in the day when I would go out with the boys, and I would be out like once a week, at least, well, probably once a week. But when we did go out, we would go at it pretty good. I could handle a lot more of that than I can now. But that's the whole thing. I'm older, and not only am I older, I drink a lot less frequently, so I can. But don't get me wrong, we weren't falling down or going. But it just boy, we got pretty hammered pretty quick, but we didn't let it get the best of us. We went up to the bar. We hit a couple bars, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we hit two, and then remember the guy? Like we met this guy at the first bar we went to, and then he like didn't he buy us a couple rounds? And the next bar he saw us across the bar, he bought us a couple rounds.
Well, we were shooting the shit with him. he was right there, and it was just we were shooting the shit with him, and then he started talking about Michigan, and or he started talking about traveling to every state, and I started talking to him about Michigan, and oh yeah, and he was just a good dude sitting there. The only thing I didn't like about him, he was a Dallas Cowboy fan, but what the hell? So are you, and you're my boy. So what the hell am I gonna do?
Yeah,
So but that's the only thing, especially since I had my Eagle shirt on. But we started talking. He was just a good dude. It was just back and forth, and we were all talking. We talk about football. We talk about this. We talk about that. And he gets up after about an hour, I guess an hour and a half that we were there, and he says, "Yeah, I'm going to head up to that other bar." He says, "You guys said you were heading up there. If I see you guys up there, I'll buy you around." I said, "You
yeah.
got it, hometown. Let's see. We'll see. We're going to see you up there."
Without mentioning the town we were in, the places we were at, what would you think about my spot, man? You think it's cool?
Very, very, very nice spot. You're got like a loft there, and that's really nice. The town
What did you
itself is
see the
really
town?
cool.
The
The
town's
town
cool.
is cool, yeah. And
Yeah,
it's just a different feel. I mean, I don't know if it is historic. I mean, every town has a history, but you know what I mean? It has something about that. It reminded me of, I'm not mentioning any towns where you live, but it reminded me of uh like a Haddonfield around
yeah,
here, but without all the snooty money. It was like, people were, down to earth and a little more, but that's what it reminded me of. It's a cool little town. And it was almost in some ways reminded me of a small Pennsylvania town somewhere because it was just weird. It was just constructed that way, but it was neat. It was a neat little town, and we went to a couple of bars. We went to the first bar we went to. Um, they had this band there playing, these older fellas, and they were giving it hell. I mean, they weren't great, but they were trying their ass off, and they did some old stuff that I like and some other stuff that's like, well, where do you guys? We're not in Kentucky, fellas. What the hell, you know? And it was okay. And by the time we went to the second bar, I was like, "Oh, cool! I could play the jukebox because I want to hear some jams, bro. I want to hear some music. I want to." We go into that bar, and it's still karaoke. Because if you recall, we went to the first bar. We walked in, it was around 10 o'clock or so, and they were doing karaoke, and it was packed. And we looked at each other and said, "Let's go to the other bar and come back." So then we went to the second bar, which is where we spent most of our time, and we were chatting with that dude. Um, and then we went back to the original bar and the crowd thinned out a little bit, but it was still karaoke. And I was like, man, and not only was it karaoke, but listen, I'm not, I'm just saying it was, let's say I didn't recognize any of the music that I could like, and you're drinking like that, you're drunk a little bit. You want something that's familiar that you can, and every song is that these people were singing. I'm like, where does this come from? I'd never.
yeah.
So that was a little frustrating. Other than that, though, it was fun. It was fun. It was
So like, what you got a hotel nearby. You got an Uber back. Everything worked out, and then you
yeah,
got up the next morning and you messed around and you got McDonald's breakfast.
I did because man, was that a morning after. I mean, and because I didn't, for some reason, I just didn't sleep real well. You figure I would be knocked out. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. And I didn't sleep real well. So I don't think I'm drunk anymore. I think that was worn off, but I was just good and hungover and tired. And I was driving home and I thought, well, I go home and I'll get something to eat. And I thought, wait a minute, you're driving home here. It's before 11, well before 11 o'clock in the morning. You're hungry. It's a Sunday. Just go grab some McDonald's, go through the drive-through, and by the time I got to the drive-through at McDonald's, I said, let me just mess around and go in there, and I'm here. Let me go in there and order, and I'm not going to order at the counter and carry it out. I'm like, so I just decided I'm here. Let me eat here. But it's good. I tried one of those McGriddle cakes that you
Did you
always
get
talked about.
this? You get sausage, egg, and cheese. Which one did you get?
I did not get the sausage because I still wanted to watch the heartburn. I got just a good old-fashioned bacon, egg, and cheese, right?
Did you
Or
dip?
bacon.
Did you dip the McGriddle in ketchup, or did you just eat it the way it was?
I think I dipped in ketchup. I
Yeah,
think I dipped a little in
that's
ketchup
the way
because
to go. Though. Dipping that thing in ketchup's amazing, man.
yeah, I want to, I think so. Yeah. And I know, and I had three hash browns. So
You
I
had
had
three,
one of those
three
three
hash
hash browns
browns.
and just a good old fashioned egg McMuffin, you know?
Wait, so you had three hash browns?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, their hash browns are pretty good.
They're awesome. They're awesome, dude. And that's my stomach was like the Grand Canyon, and it just that felt so good. And I haven't had McDonald's in a dog, I haven't had McDonald's breakfast in a dog's age. So
Yeah. And what's been going on? Like you've been going to Chick-fil-A lately? Or you went and then you messed around. You got what did you get? The nuggets and the mac and cheese?
the last time I went had been the first time that I'd been there in like a couple of months, right? So I was really looking forward to. So I got there and I ordered a chicken sandwich with the waffle fries, like the meal, the chicken sandwich, waffle fries meal. And then I wanted I think it was 12, a 12-piece nugget or 15, whatever it is, nugget, and the large macaroni and cheese and a large drink. And what did I get? I got a brownie and a chocolate chip cookie. That's a lot, but it was a cheat day, and it was not only a cheat day. It was going to a place where I hadn't been in damn near 3 months.
And
So,
you said you could probably eat 30 of those nuggets without a doubt.
oh, there's no two ways about it. Yeah, there's no two ways about it. And you know what? I
Oh,
mean,
didn't you try the Polynesian sauce you said you liked?
I did. I did try your suggestion. I tried the Polynesian sauce. It was pretty darn good. It's like a sweet and sour type deal. I like that. And the brownie I was impressed with. I liked everything there, man. It was all right. It was all right.
Yeah, you got me addicted to Wawa cookies, man. The Wawa cookies, um, they're just good, man. They're good. Like I know they're $2 a cookie, but it's still a big size cookie. But when did you start getting those cookies?
Those the Wawa cookies, my God. Uh it had I bet let me see something. I bet you it's been 10 years. Close to 10 years, I think. I don't as far back as I can really,
Yeah,
yeah, those Wawa chocolate chip cookies were always, yeah.
but
So what else
yeah,
is going on, man?
yeah. So the lyrics, we did the lyrics, every episode last time. But we might not do lyrics every episode. But
Right.
just tonight, I listen to Spotify while I'm in the shower. I got like a shower like speaker thing. Tonight this song came on. I'm like, if we can get the rights to this song, I would want this to be our opening. I gotta send it to you, Joe. It's called Vagabond by the band called Wolf Mother. And the opening to that song, I'm like, that would be a cool opening to the show, man. But um one of the lyrics is because I'll tell you everything about being free. Yes, I can see you, girl, can you see me? That's just I'm not doing it justice. The song that's just a lyric from it, but no, the song is sick. It's called Vagabond by Wolf Mother, dude. I'll send it to you later.
Okay. Okay. I got some
Um,
lyrics myself too, but
what lyrics you got?
okay. Janie said it was time to go, so we closed our eyes and said goodbye to Gypsy Angel Row. Felt so right. Together we moved like spirits in the night, all night, in the night, all night. Oh, you don't know what they can do to you. I wanted to get that in, Sean, because that was the song of the summer, my brother.
I
For
know.
me.
Wait, so like, are you now you're gonna mess around and probably go to possibly future concerts, right?
What happened? What?
You might mess around and go to concerts in the future now. Now, like you enjoyed it that much, you know what I mean?
I did, and I just want to reiterate for a second. I used the airplane analogy. When I go, I'm not going to go with you very often, but when I go, I want to go first class. So when I'm not going to go to many concerts with you, brah, but the ones I do go to, and as we do them, we'll talk about them in retrospect. So I'm not going to talk about anything we're going to see,
Yeah,
but when I go to the 3 or 4 concerts with you a year, it's going to be artiste impeccable and the seats impeccable. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Otherwise, I'm content to stay home. So
yep,
if I'm going to go out and go through it, that's what it's going to be. So I'm not going to fly very often, but when I do fly, I want to go first class. If you get the analogy,
yeah. So, what do you think about the Damian? Did you hear about Damian Lillard got traded to the Bucks?
I heard that. I was hoping it was a bad dream
Yeah. So
because
basically, they traded Drew Holiday. The Suns was a three-team trade. So the Blazers got Drew Holiday and DeAndre Ayton. Um, the Bucks got Damian Lillard, and the Suns got some like draft picks and some random players and stuff. But I don't know, man. Pretty that like the Bucks are going to be kind of scary with Lillard and Giannis.
Yeah. I mean, it's as a Sixers fan, like I said, as a Sixers fan, I was hoping it was a bad dream because if there were any question about the Sixers' demise before, there's certainly isn't now. I don't know how the hell they're going to compete with that.
Yeah.
You know,
And
so
what do you think about just to quickly, we don't know how often we're going to do the episodes. We're thinking right now we're going to keep it just like, at least once a month, and then
or so put or
we'll
so in
figure it out because
parentheses. Yeah,
just it depends when we're just
yeah.
episodes could be at random. But let's quickly talk about your impression of the Eagles so far. What do you grade their season so far? Between
Um,
eight and a half, grade them.
I'll give him a solid B.
You're just
Give him what?
I give the Cowboys a C.
That's about right. I mean, we're not too critical of our guys, but we're not Santa Claus either, you know? So, I mean, the Eagles are 3-0. Does that mean they're right? No, no. You see what I see.
And what do you
And
think about Colin Kaepernick wrote a very humbling letter to the Jets saying that he would love to help the team. He'll play on the practice squad. You know what I mean? He doesn't have to be on the team, and if they will call him up, that's fine. Would you want Kaepernick on your practice squad?
yep, in a minute. In a minute, that dude can play football. And everyone misinterpreted. I'm not going to get into it, but everyone misinterpreted what he was saying. You know what I mean? And we show them this. I'm not going to get into that subject,
No,
but
just in
I
general,
don't
just
blame
like
people for getting angry because they of what they thought they saw, but that's not what he was trying to convey. And I
yeah.
promise you that's what it was. But no, I like the guy. I would have. I'm surprised there was somebody. I don't know if it was the Eagles or who it was recently, like last year, as recently as last year or the year before. And it was almost like, why are they not calling him? Why are they not going after him? I can't remember who it was. It might have been Colin, because uh, he was no joke. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. All right. So happy to be back. Good return show. Um, I say we end it here and then we'll be back.
Well,
What do you think?
yeah, I will say that, yeah, I will say that too. I will say it's been real. It's been fun. Little stroll down memory lane. And yeah, man, we're going to rock and roll and we'll see. We'll see we'll take them as they come. All right, Tony?
All right, man.
All right, cuz.